Hello, people. Welcome back to another Broken Arrow Halo heist. Today, after a long, or I would say about a 2-week break, we are once again back. We're back again, and this time I'm unfortunately going against my will, not really, but we're playing the Russians. I must tell you, the Russians, they're far more chiller or easier to play when you play solo, and in this case, I joined a lobby with a bunch of random folks, and obviously not completely random. There was like there was something on the lobby written, "RU 21,000, 2100." So I joined it, waited for like 10 minutes or something, and then we're in. Anyways, the map that we have this time is on Suwalki Gap, and I will be playing one of, if not the most, meta decks, which is the guard tanks along with Motorized. And I'd like to mention that this game, or at least the stuff I wish to go through in this video, it's not really about, okay, I did some flashy plays, did this and that. It's more of like the setup that I would like to share with you guys, and pretty much a solid one. Whereas even though, as you can see here, I'm actually going to a flank where the enemy should be having a much quicker setup than I do, since it's technically on the middle of the map, but as you can see, they're all playing SF Armored or Marine Striker. I think they might be a 5-stack of some sort, since, like, you know, all of their specializations are very uniform. I'm not so sure though. But anyways, let's get into it. And the build, or the way I open up is this. I have a lot of cheap boomerangs, or bummerangs. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it in Russian, but you know, my fellow Aussie friends would tell me it's just a boomerang content, and yeah, so I'll just call it the boomerang. So here I start up with 2 of the cheapest boomerangs. I have a couple recon units in them. Most of them are just Dirasantes, I believe. I don't really run the GRU that much because I know they're a great squad. They have everything. Basically, people consider them really strong. We'll go through that later. And for now, we just have the Diversantes. We'll put one on the flank and one like where we need it to spot stuff. And then we have the SSO, which is actually the standoff version of the SSO. I know the C2C version has 4 smokes, burrs, flashbangs, and yeah, it's absolutely crazy how that thing has so much utility. My felon actually is fighting 3 planes at the same time. He actually turns back instead of running away. Quite the warrior. And on top of that, look at those 2 missiles go, and they kill the Super Hornet. This one, the Hornet, not Super. So yeah, he gets a trade-off. Like, it is what it is. Pretty yeah, it actually shocked me, you know? 2 missiles both hit. So yeah, her first half of the opening is just 2 very cheap boomerangs. I take that back. One of them is maxed out. I think it dropped the armor because I know boomerangs actually, even though you do upgrade their armor, they don't put that much ERA on top of it. So I just dropped it completely. Next in the line is our T-15 Barbaros. Apparently, in Russian it means a berry bush of some sort. I'm not really sure why they named one of the most fearsome tanks in the whole game that, but hey, you know, I'm no judge. Just name it whatever you want, man. So yeah, and inside that is 2 squads of with the Russian Stingers, Iglos, or I kind of forgot which one, but 2 squads, and best part of it is that each squad has 2 of those launchers. So yeah, they're 4 AA man pads in that T-15. They're quite scary. You can argue that, okay, Corin, why are you trolling, man? Like, clearly that's not what you put inside a T-15. You just gotta run it down with that thing, right? In which I would say yes, I kind of agree, but on the other hand, that's kind of exactly what I want my T-15 to do. I want it to have, like, in case a heli drops by and it starts firing at my bars, and I'll just let it off here and they get ambushed by a 3 javelin squads along with one sniper squad. And the allies' helis are one get shot down, unfortunately. Here I'm microing, trying to make sure that both of these boomerangs stay alive. I know one of them, like this one I'm microing here, is actually more valuable. And you can also definitely use his APS to block shots, but I definitely use this one just to be safe, since there are 2 javelins in that building. So here, both my boomerang, my SSO, along with my teammates, we're kind of ganging up on this guy actually. So this guy essentially wasted 330 points, and we lost like 1 heli, I believe. And that's something I see sometimes, something that I also do, and I fail miserably for it when I play SF, and that is at the opening of the game I throw in my units with my helis, and then that results in them being stuck in a building or a tree line where they get engulfed by not flames, but instead vehicles that are shooting at them, and they just die. They can't get out because the helis are gone. They can't get them cover, and here I spotted another Ranger sniper squad. So basically this guy's probably lost. This squad is how much? 85, 95? I don't really remember. Let's say 85. Lost 2 of those squads along with 3 Ranger javelins, and those cost 110 each. So that's pretty much 500 points gone down the drain. He hasn't really done anything. And I still have a Babaris, full HP. I have my recon pretty much set up, my Diversanti squads in that tiny skyscraper still under construction, it seems. My 2 Stinger squads are just screening for helis. And I even have a supply truck in the back. Like, people say, yeah, the Russians have shitty logi. Must agree, besides the motorized, that's why I have them. So yeah, I have everything set up here. It's completely, it's looking great for me. B is completely secured. I'm just probably gonna bring in some other units in the future. We set up more of those cornets in buildings, and then we push for G, and then eventually their home cap. And then the side is ours. It's pretty chill, right? So that's what I think is really important about the setup of like the first 1,000 points, right? Like that guy, he lost 500 points for nothing, pretty much. Besides 1 heli he shot down with the machine guns. Here he's pulling it. Okay, well, what do? I lost a flank. I'm gonna call in the helicopter. So that's another 300 points or so with the fire and forget missiles. Maybe he brought APS. I don't really care, because the important part here is I'm gaining ground. This guy, the moment my Eagle starts shooting, that guy has to fall back. It doesn't really matter if I kill him or not, but that's all that needs to happen. That's all I need to do. Like, look, he's retreating again. That's more ground for me to gain. One thing the Russians are extremely good at in this game, I must say. And here yeah, that standoff SSO, it's basically, I don't really know why they have that thing on the infantry though. It feels busted in a way, because that thing essentially has, like, you know those ATGM trucks that can also fire these so-called bunker busting munitions? It's basically like high explosives that are on tow missiles and such. Yeah, they gave it to infantry. I'm not saying infantry shouldn't have them in real life. That would be imbalanced. That's like the Germans crying about the US using shotguns in World War I. Yes, I played Battlefield 1, by the way. No, I'm just saying for the sake of the game balance, you know, this thing is kind of strong. You'll see you'll see its value later on in a bit. But for now, he's just firing missiles. I'm not even asking it to do anything else. I'm just asking him to be a very annoying prick and chipping away at my opponent's APS or HP if my opponent doesn't have APS. And look, he's fired at 6 out of the 8 missiles he has so far. Obviously, it's not really a big feat if it missed pretty much half its missiles and when they landed on buildings over there earlier, as you could see. I think it's fine, you know? I'm just sending a message. My opponent knows, okay, there's something firing from there. And he might artillery it. It seems like this guy's really paying attention. I'm not sure why. And here we're gonna bring in the real boys. Also, this is a bad sign of me. I should be helping my teammate out, but I'm resupplying because I ran out of missiles. So to go back in after he pretty much lost all of his stuff to push. Do not fear, my friend. T-15 Barbaros is here, along with more supplies in the back. Yeah, 3 cornet teams here. The motorized cornets actually don't have don't have 2 launchers like the Russians do. Which, no, I think it's fair. I think it's very fair. You know, the airborne tow teams have, it's a 4-man as well. It has 1 launcher, it costs 65. It can be upgraded to like 85, 90 if you want. And it has top attack all of a sudden. It's like, you know, it's much better than having high pen on your frontal attack. Missile, you can see my ego is just going boom. I didn't even need the second launcher. I just shot 1 salvo and the thing just went just poof and it's gone. Absolutely lovely. But yeah, the Barbaros is in G this time. I'm pretty sure we have it for now. For now, just saying for now. I'm not trying to imply that I lost the cap later, but I did. Also notice my opponent, as you can see here, he has... I'm sure this is the ML, not the MLRS. Yes, the MLRS, or the GMLRS with cluster munitions. That's gonna take a while to reload, I'm pretty sure. Also here, I can also hear my opponent firing, what are those called? Iron Thunders in the back. Okay, a lot of ATGMs in this bush as well. So now we're starting to get in this state where, okay, it's no longer urban warfare. Also that, what's that thing called again? Bradley CSV or CEV? It's really good. If someone plays Armored, I highly recommend you to take it. Here my Ulsa is doing a surprisingly good job at intercepting cruise missiles. It's like a torque, but it moves faster and it also can intercept a lot of things. Just for a price of 140. So I'm actually very satisfied about its performance. Here it's just sitting behind a tree line and doing its job. I think I will try to use this more often in the future. That being said, I'm still not using it to its full potential, and you'll see why later. So yeah, here, I think this is the way that Russia is, or should be played, you know? Just play it slow. You have like 1 recon squad just slowly creeping into the enemy lines, supply line in the back that you're sure that the enemy can't spot, mainly because first it's behind a building of some sort, and second, if they have a Global Hawk or a drone up in the air, then I have a very cheap 220 plane. I'm going to spot it, even though I haven't called it out yet, I'm pretty sure. Or I also have some S-300s to keep them down. Okay, here my opponent's friend, probably even is this. Oh yeah, and here I see it. Oh, no. I tried turning the seat off, but it wasn't my hotkey. Also, worst of them all, I am rather new to Russia. I've probably played less than like 20 games or something. They just feel easier. I'm not really saying, okay, they're easier Russia in, but okay, maybe I am saying something like that. But, for the controls, I'm not really used to the controls. Here is another salvo of LRS. I'm not sure why it does this. It's very confusing. So here earlier I caught a glimpse of my opponent's Terminators. I decided, okay, well, time to send it. And then my also dies to the Iron Thunders, the ones I were meant to kill. In that moment, it flipped a switch on my brain. In my brain I was thinking, What the hell? There must be a drone in the air, that's why I called in my MiG-29. Turns out, yeah, the pilot was inside as well, but because of those 3 dumb buildings in the middle, I couldn't kill them at all. But you know, that's fine. You know, that was probably my only chance at killing them too. But turns out there wasn't a drone in the air. So I was wondering, okay, then what possibly spotted my Osa and then lasered it? Because there's no way those missiles, there's no way those, not missiles, those programmed, what do you call them, programmed munitions just drop on my Osa for no goddamn reason. There's definitely some kind of thing spotting it and lasering it. But we'll find out later why and how and when. Here's my opponent also with the heli hiding in the darkness. Made me realize that, okay, pushing G doesn't seem to be that trimble in my mind. And I must say, it has to do with the setup. I do believe it's once again the setup. I also think my Barbars is being lasered by some helicopter in the distance, otherwise it wouldn't really take damage like that. So yeah, just making sure I get properly supplied. Also, yeah, a mall squad. I'd like to mention that, guys, the thing got nerfed for 10 points. They're 10 points more expensive. I don't think they're worth it. I don't think they're worth it. Not for any particular reason. They definitely have good pen, good range. It's just that, you know, for 100 points really for a 6-man squad, they could die to like an HE shell from a Russian tank. Obviously, I don't have them yet. My opponent's spotting these guys again. A bit unfortunate. But yeah, this guy's playing RDs. Well, he is playing them somewhat decently. But on the other hand, you might think, okay, but where are your units for me to kill though? Like, this guy's doing nothing but just preventing me from pushing further. But he's also not pushing himself either, so what's the case here? Is he playing tower defense? Like, the zones he's meant to defend are mine. So I guess it's good for me. Yeah, it must be good for me. And he also misses cruise missiles, as you could see earlier. And I'm not even sure how he missed that. But hey, you know, I mean, if you have bad aim, you shouldn't be blaming me, alright? It's not my fault that... Well, to be fair, it also happens to me sometimes too. Like, I just miss my cruise missiles. It should happen. Here, MPV gets killed. My boomerang takes almost half damage because I didn't upgrade its armor. Just, you know, paying the price. And here, as you can see, with these, it's also a thing about how you build the deck, you know. If you play VV and what is this specialization called? Guard tanks. One of the problems you'll face is that the VV squads are usually 5-manned, while the guard tanks are actually 4-manned. And on top of that, most of the transport you can take on the guard tanks is actually 8-manned, while for the VDV it's 5, 10, or 15. So you kind of end up in a very awkward spot where if you have 2 8-man squads, you can't really put them in a 15-man truck. And if you have 2 5-man squads, you can't put them in an 8-man truck. So this is where it's just so convenient when you put, also borrowing my ally supplies here. But anyways, this is where it really just comes together when you play Motorized and guard tanks. All of their squads are 4-manned, and all of their transports are 8-manned as well. So they're just so, they just combine. How would I say it in English? Like integrally. I'm not really sure, but they just integrate with each other very well. That's how I would put it when you need to like transport people around and, you know, get them into places where you previously couldn't. And with these 45-point trucks, I can transport two these cornets. You know, I feel joy. It's just very simple. Also here, with some kind of magic, that Nighthawk killed my T-15 with the Jasmine missile. And for some reason I shot 3 S-300 shots and it did not die. It must be the 20% ECM, but it did die in the end, so like, hey, I know when I play USA I think Russia's biased, but on the other hand, sometimes when I see American planes fly around and get away with this shit, I don't understand. Like, who wrote this code? Is it just biased in my opponent's favor? It must be the case. This game is imba. Just for me though. I'm always losing. I'm joking, but yeah. So here, to give you a quick update after all that slander I did call in a smirch, a cluster smirch. And my opponent seems to know where my units are. I'm quite confused, I'm not sure how he knows. I'm pretty sure he has decent recon since I'm pushing him. My old Hawknet dies to 3 fucking... I'm pretty sure like he has a Comanche to the left of this tree line, so he knows that my units got in there. That's why he's artillerying it. Just a bit annoyed, you know, just a bit annoyed. But anyways, back to the smirch thing. They are clustered. They are not guided because I know if you run them guided, then they actually they actually take you more time to reload. And yes, although being guided is a good thing, like you could direct them directly on the target you want them to be. But on the other hand, if you know they're guided, your opponent will just smoke them up, or he'll just smoke the vehicles up. So there's nothing I can do about it, anyways. So I might as well just let RNG decide whether I kill my opponent or not. Don't you think? Make my life easier, make my opponent's life easier. So yeah, and then that's my thought process. And I also get more chances to shoot people. And the reason why I should have called this in sooner is, as you can see, my Diversanti squad over there in that building at the very, very edge of my line. Yeah, that guy with the PSS and the icon. Next to 2 guys with 2 AKs and a star in the middle, that icon. Is that there is something in that tree line, in that small clump of trees to the upper left. Yeah, that you see that right there, that red triangle, the Delta squad. Yeah, there's something in there. And had I been able to artillery that, like cleared that place of vehicles, I could have pushed in with my own T-15, and then I would have been able to clear it. And then I would have had a much easier time. Okay, I'll get into G, and you don't really have, my opponent wouldn't really have a solid firing, or like a position to siege G in that scenario. And on the left side of the battlefield, you can also see I put one cornet on hold fire. I was so caught up here, the other wasn't, so I decided, okay, you two should fire at the same time. This is exactly the ripple fire from the other cornet squads, except the squad only has 1 launcher each. So that's why I had to make sure that, okay, you guys don't just shoot one at a time, okay? I want you guys to be more efficient, shoot both at the same time, that would be brilliant. That's what we did. Also, the reason why I put 2 guard Motorized squads there is just to make sure that, okay, if a tank comes out, he's gonna get blasted by the RPGs I have. But turns out that I'm not sure if it happened yet because I'm so focused on commentating my own gameplay. But we'll see in a bit. I also called it one of the most broken ETGM trucks. I complained about it on Reddit and someone responded to me with a bunch of slander. I mean, I can make a video on it explaining why I think Chris's team is broken, but hey, you know, it died because I used it offensively while it should be used defensively. So yeah, there you have it. Alright, took a sip of tea that I prepared for myself for this video because I know that in previous ones I always, like, my voice is just dead afterwards, and that's exactly what I need. I need a good drink and I'll be good. See, I hear my Barbaros is yeah, he's in that tree line. He's in the bush. And you know, if the Barbaros is in the bush and you don't have close AT support, you're cooked. And from my memory, that guy, he only had a tank. He only had a tank, and that was pretty much it. And the worst part about that tank's fate was that he decided to rotate. He decided to go to the cap where my opponent not my opponent, my friend on the right hand side currently owns. I'm pretty sure this is a 2v1 as well, so that's why I'm winning so easily. I mean, there's basically nothing on my flank, man. What am I supposed to do here? Or 2v2, but like one of the guys or both of the guys are playing artillery, so there's essentially no resistance. Until I saw a message, you're all 2-3-2-3 destroyed, and I'm like, oh, 5-3-2-3. So like, what the fuck is destroying it? I have no trucks like that. And that's when I found the F1 key on my keyboard, and I'm just pressing it and holding my left mouse button because I need my teammates to know this. Okay, I need them to know, shit, the heli broke through. Of course, it's a stealth heli, and it happens all the time. But obviously, I could have done a much better job because my opponent realized, okay, my heli just sent it and died on my flank, and that's what, you know, what you can do is you can just basically just push me with this heli and then like sneak in and then kill all the SAMs I have. And against this kind of shenanigans, there's only really one thing I can suggest to you, and that is or I could have done better in this scenario, is that you just don't die with your heli. Not really. But to have some kind of like the Ulsa, some kind of shorad hiding in the sidelines. Obviously, I could have done that. I'm pretty sure I did try doing that, but I ended up microing it to the front, and instead of doing its proper job. Here, these two MPVs did spot the briefly earlier, so I did expect something to come in this scenario. Here, one of my pilots will be quite salty. You can also see here that the Terminator actually isn't really enough to penetrate the MPVs from the front. Although 30 mils from the Russians, they can technically pen them eventually, you know. Here, I also have time. This is why it's so comfortable to play Russian. I can just do one thing and then micro my units elsewhere and then come back and they'll be fine. So in this case, there was a loss. They deleted my Terminator. But it's fine, you know, I still have my Barbaros, and the thing runs at 80 kilometers per hour and has 80 speed. I'm not really sure which one really fits the description, but here, there's no way Moss will kill T-15, especially when pointing my head directly at him, and he's shooting my frontal up, so there's nothing you can do, and that thing actually got nerfed in terms of price, so like, I don't get it, man. I mean, sure, T-15 got nerfed as well, but it's obviously not that big of a deal, considering it shreds almost everything, every light vehicle and infantry, and could technically possibly threaten tanks as well. Here I forget that the T-15 isn't an MPT and it can technically load troops, but I forgot about it, so let's just overlook that part. Back to the main topic here. This map, it's called Suwalki Gap or something? Yeah, I believe. So, on this map you have at least this side. You have a bunch of factories and also skyscrapers in under construction. The decap, this flank. And also coming fairly often. Whenever I get this map, okay, the next thing I do is I try to make sure that I play this flank. And one of the things that you can play around on this flank is that there are a bunch of these granite. I'm not really sure what that is, but it's like, you know, those black powdery things that you use to get concrete or something. Yeah, like those block line of sight here. I forget to turn off my radar as usual. My S300 survives. That is an absolute miracle. And yeah, it's like very easily, you can very easily take advantage of these buildings just having like a GM or a manpad squad sitting in them. Oh, in this case, my standoff cornets. And then when you need to resupply, you just put them right behind the building because they're rectangular, right? And their lengthy side is usually protecting you from the enemy spawning it. And yeah, like you can just resupply in a very frontal position. You don't need to fall back that much. So all you have to do is to make sure that, okay, your initial setup is solid, and you don't have to. You can eventually take back the ground that you lost as playing as Russia. That being said, man, like, how would I know? How would I know if my opponent is playing guards, tanks, and motorized, or if he's playing coastal and mechanized? Both of these are very solid decks, except the way they open up is slightly different. If your opponent's playing coastal and then mechanized, you're probably expecting a BMP rush. It's absolutely horrific, and I must say it is very scary, but they're a bit slower than the motorized guard tanks push. But when I play US, like, this is something that I need to think about, right? Like, it's gotta be, how do I make sure that I don't lose ground against the massive push of BMP3s? As from the Russians' perspective, it is what kind of infantry should I put in my BMP3s to ensure that I can push very well and into my enemy's line? So it's all about the first 1,000 points, how you, it's not about, okay, guys, air tags, like, spawn planes, we must secure the, we must establish air dominance, air superiority. Okay, man, I wish you good luck. Here this is the third hell yeah, lose this match. To realize, okay, there's something that guy has over there. Whoops, my bad. And like that tree line is like way too far away for him to influence anything. Like, it's pretty much it. I don't really need to fight anymore, I'm pretty sure. Like for I don't need to fight this guy. Like, here I'm just collapsing with my other friends on the I also took a supply point from something. Free shit, you know, why not? I know the majority of the job was done by, I'm not even sure how many students died. PC. But yeah, like, I know the majority of the work was done by my teammates, and I could just sit here and have to, you know, like, I'm doing my part. I had an opponent too, you know, I just didn't kill that much stuff. Surely, right? I made sure, and I called out the Comanche rush from behind, so I'm clearly doing my part. Obviously, this is joking. I could also do, the push could have been much faster as well. Like, I technically didn't really need the not toad teams, the cornet teams. It did help a bit. The SSO helped a lot with vision. Also, the Diversanti squad, yeah, he's still there, you know, he's still alive. Did wonderful spotting, and then you hear my teammates are just talking smack, but yeah, like, had I had the Smirch earlier, I could just already tree lines, then they wouldn't have much resistance. Yeah, here my opponent says, speak human language. In Mandarin, it's like the words that people speak, basically, literally. And then my friend, my ally says facts, and then he says, we're all Chinese, man. Like, I don't even know how he knows, but I guess I'm constantly being monitored by Mao Zedong. Actually, no, not Mao Zedong. Like Chairman Xi or something. And then yeah, and then the rest of the conversation is just, I don't understand whatever you're typing in Chinese, and then yeah, it's just smack, man. I don't even know whatever is going on, but here it's yeah, the game's over. I got 30 points. I'm at the bottom of the board. I took one cap, but hey, I'm doing my part. Also, I noticed that this flare, you know, I can make myself completely golden or orange. I'm not really sure which one describes the color better, but it looks pretty good. Of course, it gets kind of flashy, you know, and some people might not like it. Like, who the hell is this guy, you know, when I join a room? But you know, it looks flashy. I like the color gold, so that's why I'm keeping it for now. I might change it in the future. It used to be blue. And some people like purple, some people like red. I don't really care, man. Like, if you get enough kills, you get enough hours into this game, you'll have whatever color you want yourself to be. So there's that. And use this match, you know, emphasis was on the setup. The micro, the way I did my pushes could have been better. But on the other hand, my opponent didn't really want to fight me, so as you can see here, I'm pretty sure more than half of my losses were OSAs, S300s, and my helis. I think that might actually be true. I didn't lose so many ground units. I just lost anti-air and my heli. It's crazy. Like, this guy just legit didn't want to fight me. But anyways, this is a match where everything goes smooth for Russia. I did have a match where I shat my pants. Everything, I couldn't get anything together, but we eventually flipped them in the end. Unfortunately, that recording was not recorded properly, and it got deleted. So I'm very sorry for that one. I feel bad for myself as well, because that's like, it was a really good match. We won by 1 point. I can show you right now, actually. I do have some screenshots. I will, how do I set this up for you though? I'll just do something what I usually used to do in my streams, and here. Okay, these were my kills. Actually, this was a screenshot I asked from my friend. Not my friend, but like one of my teammates. I like, it was a random lobby. I added his Steam and then I asked him to screenshot it for me. It's like here basically, okay, not this one. What am I doing? Yeah, like Motorized. This is actually the 30mm Barbaras, which I deeply regret. It should have been the 57mm, and I would have had much better time if I did get it. And then there's why the hell am I here again? Okay, yeah, doing okay. Lost a lot of units. As you can see here, I lost a bunch of S300s. Yeah, like, this guy just keeps yeah, it's Pepsi again. Wait, it's Pepsi. That guy's legit in the same Discord channel I'm in. I'll say hi to the guy later, actually. But yeah, like, the M2, like, I really should have recorded that match. I'm sorry, guys. Like, you would have seen so much action going on. It's much better. It's a much better and dynamic match to watch. A much more frustrating one, I must say. Real, indeed. Okay, so, I think, let me find it. Yeah, I want to be BA Pro, this guy. He sent me the results of the match. Here. Oh, that's me, by the way. That's me, 1977. I was legit a North Korean general, by the way, with the underdog medal. I got so much stuff. I lost the least amount of, like, man, that match was so good. Even though I thought I was doing terribly. I don't know why. Like, I thought I was doing shit. I was playing absolutely like shit, but we still won somehow, and I came up on top. It's crazy. But yeah, GG, I guess. Of course I had to glaze myself, man. Man, I'm not even that good. I was at the bottom of my board this game. So yeah, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you for watching. I obviously blurred some of that stuff out earlier. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and wonderful time until I decide to make my next video, and I'm not really sure what it should be. But I will definitely make more of these commentated videos or replays in the future, so please stay tuned and subscribe if you haven't. And like my videos. Thank you. Love you, and goodbye. Ciao.